Am I the asshole? For suggesting my teacher host my son's party at her house? Throwaway and fake names. I realize this was probably very petty, but I want to see if I'm justified or just an asshole and owe an apology. My son, Sam, had his 9th birthday today, but we're having the actual party tomorrow night, which is basically just a sleepover at our apartment with 2 friends. One is in his class and the other in a different one, same school though. Before my son even got home from the bus, I got a call from his teacher, Lorna, requesting that the party involve all the students in the class. She learned about it because it came up as the class wished him a happy birthday. I at first politely refused, saying that's not reasonable, but she insisted to make sure nobody was left out. I respond by saying that she has no say in who is at my home ever, and that even if she did, my apartment simply cannot accommodate 32 kids and guardians. She says that because other students are involved, she does, and that I should have the party somewhere that can allow all students. I was ready to either hang up or tell her off, but what she said at the end sparked an idea. I tell her, okay, what's your address? And when she asks why, I told that since you think you have a say, and you want all your students to be a part, we might as well have the party have her house, and request her address again. There's a pause before she says that's not exactly what she meant, and I tell her that no, she wants everyone to attend, so she should be the one to make it work before hanging up. This is where I probably became the asshole. Out of curiosity, I easily found her address, her SM is not private at all, and email her. How does this email sound? With an excerpt to the group email chain saying that Lorna has offered to host Sam's birthday party at her home, and to come after school to X address. I was not planning on actually sending that to anyone else but her. I just wanted to prove the point and felt I was being sarcastic, but I know tone is hard online. She responded to not send it, and to do whatever I want for the birthday. She does not care anymore. When I vented to my husband about it, he called me unhinged, but he agreed with my point. I'll admit, I have a bit of a habit going overboard when I feel wronged, and probably went nuts, but I can't believe the audacity of this lady. Am I the asshole? Esh. Stopping the teacher's power play by throwing her logic at her. Genius. But then you had to be fucking creepy about it towards the end. Public or not, that was weird, and your email could have been interpreted as thinly veiled, I know where you live threat. I agree with your great argument, but you definitely went overboard. Eshi. It's one thing if the whole class was invited, and just one of 2 kids were excluded. But in this case, it's just a sleepover with 2 friends. That was any basic weekend when I was a kid. But you doubled down and made it creepy by finding her address. Esh, you had me applauding up until you mentioned finding her address. She could construe that as a threat and take up the administrative chain, resulting in your son being removed from her class, or possibly even local authorities getting involved. Man, I was almost on your side, but you had to go be creepy stalker and become the Seriously, dude. That's so damn creepy and gross. Honestly, you had a point until you went too far with finding her address. It crossed a line and could be seen as threatening. I'd apologize to keep things smooth for your kid's sake, and maybe find other ways to handle conflicts in the future. We have been in multiple schools where their policy asked parents to either have parties that included 1 the whole class, 2 just all the boys girls same general as birth kid 3, or just a couple close friends. So that no one is left out, even if not everyone is invited. That was never meant to be enforced, just a heads up to not be mean. I always thought it was pretty reasonable, barring a bullying situation. This one clearly meets 3. Esh, because creepy stalker parent. Esh. I was with you until you found the teacher's address and let them know. You. That's dangerous behavior. Don't be surprised if you never get to chaperone a school event again. Esh. It is wrong of the teacher to push you to throw a party. It's not like the son passed out invitations in front of others to make sure no one is left out. However, you searching their personal information is creepy and intrusive, very unhinged behavior. Yes, I agree the audacity, but since you admitted this is a habit of yours, I would consider looking into other methods, because this can land you into hot water, if it hasn't already. I've known and been a part of a lot of situations where 30 kids were invited, and 2 were left out from a birthday party. In that case, I'd absolutely understand the teacher saying, if you can invite 30, then please make room for 32. But inviting 2, and being asked to invite 30 more seems unhinged. Did she overstep? 100, pal. Did you take it too far? 1,000,000. If I found out a parent had searched out my address and threatened to send it out to other parents for any reason, I would be in my administration office immediately reporting the situation. You unfortunately have probably hurt your reputation at the school, as well as there's likely no way the teacher is keeping this to herself, even if it did start with her overstep. Your poor child. Hope that teacher doesn't take it out on your kid. She will. Sometimes you have to control your temper for the well-being of your children. Esh. The teacher was presumptuous and overstepped. However, you won when she hung up. Your follow-up went into creepy stalker, order of protection against you level territory. In the future, I would check your impulses with your husband. He at least seems rational. Esh. I am a teacher, and she had no right. Absolutely none. How dare she? Would every time you take your kid to the park, the movies, or have a play date, you be required to invite everyone, in case he brings it up at school? Ridiculous. But you were definitely unhinged to track down her personal info. Can you imagine someone doing that to you where you work? You'd get a restraining order, and in a day and age where teachers are getting shot, this is 100 uncalled for. She doesn't know you well enough to know if she's safe or not. Esh. With some of these teachers, you have to match their energy. Finding her address was stalkerish and unnecessary. You could have said Miss Teacher has graciously opened her home so that the whole class can celebrate Sam's birthday. Please contact her for address and time of party. That could have driven the point home without the veiled threat of I know your address, and can send a flash mob of children and parents to it. Wow, she is definitely overreaching. Did you tell her that said party only involved 2 kids? If so, I would contact the principal. I understand that they don't want invitations handed out in class, but did he give a written invitation to the kid in the class? Both unhinged. But, Timur,